What's up, Sneakerholics? It's your boy Slim Beezy, and here we back again with the Soul Debater Season 1, Episode 3. What are Grails? And let me let my panel introduce themselves.
Yo. It's your dog TENCITYJD checking in. What's happening?
Yo, what's good? This BRAZYKICCZ over here, just chilling. No traveling in the NBA.
This damn FATBOYCLEANSNEAKS. I'll save the AKAs. Should we in you?
Dr. Monkey.
Dr. Monkey.
Hey, this is Lady L.
You should have yelled, they don't deserve the pinky toe.
We're going to get right into it. What's up, y'all? Y'all picking anything up this weekend?
No.
No.
Man, I made one pickup, but it was a quick, just a quick little flip. I got those ones that dropped the neutral gray / hyper crimson, but I just grabbed those, sent it straight off.
Damn.
Not fair that they didn't come out in GS.
Facts.
Really not fair.
True. Not because the flip would have been better. You're right.
I thought they were dope though. I thought they were super fire.
They are.
Especially with them orange laces.
A couple other releases came out.
I'm so salty about it. Like, it's just so wrong.
I got a 9, so this is what we're gonna do. I got a 9 up there. We're gonna deconstruct the 9 down to a 4.5. Gotcha.
I'm down. Make that happen.
Word. So Grails. What is a Grail to y'all?
And you're asking for our definition, right? You ain't asking for what.
Yeah, because a lot of people say they got Grails or they want Grails, but a lot of people looking at it in 2 different ways.
Right. For me, it's a shoe. From my understanding of Grail had always been initially it was a shoe that you've always wanted, like a lot. And then I started to understand that when you talk Grail, you talk Holy Grail, like in the spiritual world. Something that's almost impossible to find, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just something that you really, really want that's not exactly easy to get your hands on.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Bay Wappo on that one, knee.
To me, a Grail is something, I think it's a personal definition. But I know a lot of people say a Grail is basically something that you can't get. It's something that you want, it exists, but there might only be, a limited number of pairs out there, like 1 or 2 pairs out there. So, there's Grails, there's shoes that I really want, that there's a couple pairs out there, but they just cost so much that I'm not willing to spend the money on it, or they haven't dropped it in so long that it might not, it might not hold up if I want to put it on. But there's some people that are like a real Grail is like a sample, or like, a pair that came out a long time ago and there's only like 10 of them in existence. That's a true Grail to some people.
Okay. And you think it's cool? You think you should be able to obtain a Grail. Certain people can get Grails, and many can't though.
Yeah,
I think a Grail to some people too now, because there's people that the money isn't an issue, right? It's not a question of being able to spend the money on it, So it doesn't matter if the shoe's $50,000. They got the bread that they can get it. So to people like that, a Grail is, even though they got the money, it's not even about the money. You got to know somebody. You got to have some connections. You got to hook up with some dude in Australia who has like the one pair of this shoe, or one person has the left shoe, another person has the right shoe. So they look at it like it's some kind of quest, like it's Indiana Jones, and you got to solve all these riddles and go through these puzzles and meet the right people just to get one pair of shoes. And then a lot of people look at a Grail as a shoe that only they have. Like, you know, like you can't get these. You're never going to see these. I got these, but you can never get them. That's why it's a Grail, you know? So, I mean, I can respect that because, you know, I think that term has gotten real loose now. I mean, because some people are talking about shoes that anybody can go cop and they call it a Grail just because they don't have it. Or they're talking about a shoe that dropped like, you know, 6 months ago. That's a Grail. You know, I don't know if you can really call that a Grail if there's thousands of pairs out there and anybody can get it if they, you know, if they're willing to pay for it. I don't know how you call that a Grail, you know, and I'm seeing people use that term real loosely, or it'll be some kid who's like 16 years old talking about Grails and they just got into sneakers like, you know, a few months ago, you know. I don't, me personally, I don't agree with that definition of it. You know, I think it should be pretty decently difficult to get a pair of Grails. You know, like I know Fat Boy wanted those LeBron, those Miami Hurricane LeBrons, right? And like when he told me about the shoe, I went to look it up to look at pairs. And that's when I realized, like, wow, this is like, there aren't any of these anywhere. It's like really hard to get. You might look at all the places where you can get pretty much any sneaker, like Stadium Goods, Flight Club, and there might be one pair available right now. And I might look at the website next week and there's no pairs available. And you got to get notified when like one comes in. That to me is a Grail because they're just not out there, you know?
So GR released like just say like about 10 years ago, eventually become a Grail, right?
It could. I think it could. I think it depends on. I think it depends on the. I think if you look at, I know it's a shoe we joke about a lot, but you know, Lady L is a big fan of Taxi 12s. You know, that was a GR shoe, you know, at one point in time. Try to find her size. It ain't there. Surprisingly.
And then you got some people who think Grails are just sneaker they really want. That is obtainable, but it's a sneaker they really want that's not in their collection. And people will be like, I'm just knocking out all these Grails because I didn't get the taxis when they drop, but they're available on StockX. Some people say that's a Grail. And he said, huh?
See, we was with my Grill. They were available on StockX. I mean, your average Joe can't spend that type of cheese to get it, but
right.
I mean, I got my Grill.
Yep. Yeah. I think I was talking to one of my you know, a chick that I follow, and she follows me back on Instagram. And she's real big into Adidas. And we were talking about Grails, and I mentioned to her, you know, that I really like Acronym Pressos, and she looked them up. She was like, wow, I didn't know they were that expensive. She was like, I mean, you know, if you can afford it, it's not technically a Grail, because she was like, my Grail was more money than that. And I was like, damn, I was like, so she's looking at it from a standpoint of, you know, if it's something that you can spend money on, that you can afford, then it's not necessarily a Grail. So obviously, you know, everybody's idea switches around. For me, I think it's a blend of availability and cost. Like if it's something that, yeah, it might be there, but it's going to cost me $2,500 to get, yeah, that's going to sit in the Grail category for a little while. You know, but if it's a $200 shoe, you know, that's on StockX, I wouldn't consider that a Grail. Like I've heard people on Reddit, they finally got a pair of like blue tint Yeezys or something like that, and they're like, oh my God, I got my Grails. And I'm like, them things sitting in Foot Locker, bro. Like, come on, man.
So I think it boils down to a question of, I mean, I think, okay, when you look at it that way, I feel like you can break it into two different categories. You know, you can have Grails, and I like it. I appreciate it when people use the term personal Grails or my Grails. Like I got a pair of personal Grails for me. You know what I mean? Like with the example you was talking about with the taxis with Lady L, that's a shoe that's anybody can get that pretty much if they really want it. you know. But if you have a GS size, then your availability is way more limited than everybody else. So it's not so the shoe itself is not necessarily a grail for everybody, but for her, that's like a personal grail because of her being able to get it in her size, you know. And I mean, but there's a lot of people that would look at our whole conversation that we having right now, and they got that real tight definition of it. Like if there's more than 5 pairs available, then they can't be a grail, you know. And so sometimes I'll say like a true grail. Like y'all know me, I talk about it all the time. A true grail for me is blackout 11s. You knew I was gonna say, you know, because that to me is a true grail. Because how many pairs are there in existence of that shoe? It was a sample. It was never released. I think there's a pair that's on Flight Club right now or something like that, and they want like tens of thousands of dollars for it or whatever. That's a grail to me. That's a grail. If the shoe costs a car, that's a grail to me. All right. you know. I mean, we can go down the line. Some undefeated 4s. You know, there's a couple shoes out there. I call those grails because it's like, you know, the spiritual, the religious, it might take an act of God for me to get that shoe in my hand. You know what I'm saying? So that's a grail to me.
I would say the Sacramento 10s is a super grail to me.
The Sacramento, so are those hard to get? Those real hard to get?
Shit, them shit been come out. It was a part of the city pack.
That's what I'm saying. Like a general release can end up being a grail soon if they don't like restock. I mean, re-retro any of these. All these sneakers will end up being grails eventually if they didn't re-retro certain ones.
Dude, the Sacramento ain't even like on StockX. There's not even one that you can bid on.
Exactly. I really, really want them Jakes, bro.
Damn. I ain't gonna lie, when you first said that, I was like, huh? Then I looked it up. I was like, oh, okay, yep. There's been 2 sales of the shoe on StockX since it came out, since the shoe released. 2 in his size, in size 12.
Wow, I'm looking at them right now. I just had it because I wasn't even that's my first time hearing about it just now when you said that. And I'm on Flight Club right now looking at it, and they have 2 pairs and 8 and 8.5, and they want like 570 and 600 for the shoe. Yeah. So if you don't wear an 8 or 8.5, I can see that.
Damn,
man, that's a dope shoe too.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I don't even like 10s like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Dope, nigga.
The well-timed troll by Bees. He was back there playing safety. He baited you into that one.
They got a yasto.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all know how I feel about 10s, man. They dope though. They dope. But see, all the 10s I like, you can't get, man. So
right. That's the beauty of it being a grail is everybody having like it's so personal to each person. Mine, y'all know mine for the longest was a pair of Concord 11s. I could have got a pair of Concords off of StockX for God knows how long, but it was just a shoe that I've wanted since I was a kid, like literally since I was, 23 years ago. It was a shoe that I've always wanted. So, being able to actually get them really didn't have anything to do with the money. It was just something that I always wanted. So that's why, I kind of trip out when people say, "Oh, well, it's about money," or the quantity. I was like, it ain't necessarily about that. You could have just not been in a position in your life to be able to buy a pair of sneakers like that. And it's just something that, man, whenever I get the money and I can start buying sneakers, I'm gonna get this shoe. And for me, the Concourse is one shoe like that.
I mean, can you call a shoe though? Can you call a shoe like the Concord 11? I mean, that's how many times is that shoe released?
But to some people, that could be a grill.
It's never really been a cheap shoe. It's been a $400 shoe for a long time. For somebody that doesn't, that might be married with a couple kids and all that other stuff, like having $400 to drop on a pair of sneakers, no matter how, mundane a sneaker may be to like an average sneakerhead, like not everybody has the means to be able to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop $450, on this pair of shoes. And I'm gonna say for the longest in my life, I didn't have that ability to do that. So I know as soon as I had that chance, and so if you don't call that shoe a Grail, I mean, what would you call it? If it's a shoe that is available, but you've always wanted, but for one reason or another, you haven't been able to attain it, what would be the term for that?
Well, I guess maybe personal Grail, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Concord 11, right? Just to use the same shoe. Okay, mm-hmm. We have a 2011.
I think it came out 4 times.
It doesn't okay. So if I was to say a Grail for that shoe, would be the Defining Moments pack one.
Yeah,
if I could call one of those a Grail.
But a lot of people don't even call the DMP 11s Concords. They literally just call them the DMP 11s.
True.
But I see what you're saying.
Now, there's just to get even more deep on that. There's a sample pair of those out there, or pairs of those out there, that have they got the gold on the
eyelets.
Call those on the 11s, the eyelets. Yeah, the eyelets. Mm-hmm. It has Jordan in gold letters down the side. And I saw a picture of those. I think you might have sent it to me, Fat Boy. Like and I was like, man, are those real? Like, are these for Gazy? Like, like are these?
Yeah, you had to look them up. You had to Google them.
Like, I thought, like, nah, man, somebody's trying to pump me. Like, these not real. And then I realized those were out there. So those are even, that shoe is limited already. And then you have a sample of that shoe that's even more limited. And I mean, speaking of Grails, I mean, like, how do y'all feel about samples? Because there's some people that's all about, samples, like, oh, that's where it's at. These are samples. Nobody has these. You can't get them. I had to know somebody. I had to have a plug. This guy had to talk to another guy that knows this guy, and that's how I got these. Like, can you call something?
I personally think with samples, I'm not really into samples. Samples is like one of them sneakers you put up. You know what I mean? Like, everybody said, I heard this, like, to be a sneakerhead, everybody has to have one sample or something like that. But samples so hard to obtain, like, and you have to pay so much for a sample. I'm like, do I really need a sample in my collection? Like, I can go without a sample.
I think it's relative. I think it's like what we've been saying. I don't think that to be a sneakerhead, you have to have a sample. But I'm with you, Beez. I could care less about samples. Like, it's not something I care about at all, but they are very, very difficult to get your hands on. So, I mean, for some folks, yeah, I can see that being a Grail, even though it's I think a sample can be a Grail easily.
Yeah, that's so. Okay, we got personal Grails, and then you got and when you say you got holy Grails, so you would look at like very hard to get sneakers will be holy Grails, and then
I like
that. People, because you say personal Grails or Grails, like, because you can argue this back and forth. Like, you could be like, a Grail could be something that's very hard to obtain, but another person could be like, it's just a Grail is just something could be 6 months old. They just didn't get it. That say that next year coming around, 2019 coming around, and the month of January always slow, so people might reach back like, I'm gonna go back and get my Grails, which that could have been the Concords, the new ones. Could have been the winterized 12s, the off-white UNC ones and stuff like that. Like, that could be a Grail to them because at the time they couldn't get it.
I think what you're getting is from people like I never heard anybody say you had to have a sample, by the way, to be a sneakerhead. That's like, I never heard that. But I know some people that I could see them feeling that way. And I think that's the reason why people get so uptight about when people use the term Grail, is people like that who spend all that time, effort, energy, and money into chasing down stuff like samples and stuff like one-offs and like numbered shoes and stuff like that. So when they put all of that into getting the shoe, right, and then they hear some person be like, oh, I'm gonna grab my Grails, or I just got my Grails, and it's the 18 Concords, I can see how they can feel some kind of way about it, man. You know, I mean, because like on a personal level, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. We don't even got to be talking about shoes. You know, when you work really hard to get something, right, and then you see somebody else get it and without like any effort at all, you know, whether you want to admit it or not, that does, you know, that does do a little something to you, man. Like when you see the effort that like went forth into doing that, you know, it'd be like if you was out in the woods and you had to start a fire with your hands from scratch and you rubbing sticks together and do that, right?
Nah.
And then you see some dude walk by with a cigarette lighter. You know what I mean? You gonna feel some type of way, you know? You almost froze to death, and this dude got a lighter, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Bro.
that, you know. So I think it's just about the effort. It's about excuse me, it's about the work, man. That's what I think this is about. This whole Grail thing, I think it's about the work, man. You know, did you have to put some work into it? You know.
So personal grails and holy grails.
I think that's the only way you really can like divide it too, because you had this argument forever. A lot of people don't think Grails is hard to obtain. Some people think Grails are. So
313 Queen saying if the shoe holds significance to a person for whatever reason, it's a Grail.
You got a point.
I kind of feel that.
PM Kick said, "What's y'all personal Grails?"
That we bought or that we still want?
I'm about to say that we still want it. We have.
For personal or holy?
Yeah.
Hold on.
He said personal. Whatever, what's the personal?
Man, for me, easy is easy, man. And I guess these are shoes that fit in both categories. You know what I'm saying? The first category to me is the Tim Duncans, the Total Foamposite Max. That's a personal grail to me. I need a pair of those really, really bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just like there's no pairs in my size, or if I see some pairs available, they're like beat up or whatever. So it's just hard to get. And then whenever the stars do align and there's a pair available, I'm not ready to drop $400 or $500 on it at the time, you know. And then a holy grail is shoe I already talked about, Blackout 11s. I'm mad at Jordan. They need to drop those. I'm not talking about Gammas. I'm not talking about Space Jams. I'm not talking about 7210s. I'm not talking about cap and gowns. We need all black 11s. Everything black, all black, everything. That's it. I'm sorry.
All right, man. Last time I checked, the all black 11s was the cap and gowns. But this is my eyes. I don't know. That's what my eyes showed me. The cap and gowns was all black. You keep talking about this. You keep saying the sample black. Them black 11s, them blackout 11s. It's the cap and gowns is the same thing.
That don't count, man.
Nah, man. I agree.
You freaking the same way. Whatever outfit you was gonna put with the blacked out 11s, you could do with the cap and gowns, guaranteed.
So I don't think it has anything to do with how you can finesse the shoe. I think it's about what I think it's about the shoe specifically. Like, what was that icy blue sole with the damn new buck?
Thank you.
Man, that won't blackouts.
Thank you.
The blackouts were all black, including the soles. There's no icy soles on the blackouts.
The icy blue soles help oxidizing.
Nah, I wouldn't. The blackout ones have no icy nothing. There's nothing to oxidize. Like, that's what makes them dope.
Man, there's only one video I can think, because you can look at like Flight Club, I think, or you can just Google it or whatever and look at Blackout 11s, right? You're going to see a bunch of pictures of cap and gowns come up, all right? And then you're going to see a couple pictures of the actual Blackout 11s, or if you go on Flight Club, you'll see the picture of the shoe. That's a picture. The only video I know about where there's somebody with an actual pair of them is, what's his name? Perfect Pair. I know y'all heard of him. The dude who has everything. There's a video he did. It's like a 2-part video he did with was it Nice Kicks, or I forget. They used to do like where they would go and check out somebody's collection. I mean, it's a few years old, right? And they were with Perfect Pair, and he was running through his freaking warehouse of sneakers that he has. And you know, he has all these shoes that nobody can get. That's a big thing to him. Like, y'all can't get these, you know. And he had a pair of the Blackout 11s. And if you look at that shoe and you see it on video, you'll notice it's basically, if I want to talk about the construction of the shoe, it's a bread 11. It's a playoff 11, right? It's constructed the same exact way, except for everywhere that there is red or white is black. I'm talking about the sole is black. I'm talking about the Jumpman is black. I'm talking about the midsole is black. All the rest of the materials are the same. And I think that's the huge
leather
difference.
and nylon.
Exactly. So it's just like you have some Red 11s or some Concords or some Space Jams. It's just they made everything black. And I just feel like until they drop that shoe, it ain't a blackout to me.
I mean, I'm looking at the shoe right now. And then, you know, I can see like the cap and gowns, you know, just kind of like in the wings of it. And I mean, I think you can on a very surface level, like you can look at it and be like, yeah, it's the same shoe. But like me being an 11 head, like I do prefer the nylon up top. And I do like the leather. I'm not a huge fan of Nubuck. I'm not going to get into the cut of the patent leather. I ain't going to do that. But, you know, those differences to me.
Might as well get into
because to me it's not really relevant. Like the parts of that shoe that make it that shoe to me is the soles and the materials on the upper. It ain't got nothing to do with the patent leather is high or low. Like that black tumbled leather, black Jumpman, you know, the black 23 and that nylon upper with them black soles is just. And when you looked at that shoe, because I'm with Brazy, that's also one of my holy grails is the Blackout 11. And then seeing the cap and gown come out, I was like, man, this is probably going to be my closest opportunity to getting blackouts. And, you know, I was geeked about them, but like the more and more I saw them, I was like, man, those ain't the blackouts. They ain't even really close either. And I just like, if I had never seen a Blackout 11 before, ever, I would have a pair. I probably have 3 pair of cap and gowns right now.
Oh my God.
We got some 11 people on here. We got some 11 heads on here. I'm not even an 11's head like that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even like 11's is not my top 3.
Head, I know Fatboy, you 11's head. Lady L, I know you 11's head. What do y'all think, man? You tell me.
11's pretty dope. I rock with 11's.
And you had some on the other day. You was finessing the hell out of them too.
Finessing the fuck out them platinum tents, boy.
Lady L just sitting back laughing at all of us. Yo, I think somebody.
Hey, what's new? I mean, that's the natural disposition.
Facts. I saw. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. All right, so I saw E Money Shoes say. He said it's the same shoe. You can soul swap if need be. He agrees with Bees. So I mean, I can't. Man. I don't got the skill. I can't do no soul swap, bro. I don't know how to do that.
Nah.
And then where am I get the soul from?
If I got to soul swap it, nah, man.
Blackouts.
What's that?
I said, if it was the same shoe, then why wouldn't they just call it the blackouts versus call it the cap and gown?
Exactly.
Ooh,
not the same shoe. Lady L coming in with the profundity. Drop the mic. She said, "I'm done." She said, "I'm done." She said, "Shut all this up." She just saw water and everything.
I need a verse, please.
Fat boy, check me out, right? You a big 11's man, right? With the whole stuff. So I need you to explain to me why you passed on the 2018 Concords and stuck with what you had. Because in my opinion, I think the 2018 doper than those. But that's my opinion. The high patent leather looks very nice.
And here's the thing: you answered my question. It's a personal preference. You preferred 18. I preferred the 11. I like the lower cut. You know, again, and technically, I didn't pass on the 18s. I had the 18s. I bought the 18s.
But you bought the flip though.
I bought the Fear of Gods to flip, and I kept them. You know, so a lot of times it's a game time decision. You know, once you get them in your hand, you know, you look at them. And I'm not gonna lie, they were cold. They were dope. So, and I probably still might get a pair.
So if the 72 and 10s had the high patent leather on it, would you be rocking with those a little tougher?
I don't.
Than the low patent leather.
We've mentioned this in the last 2 episodes. I don't mind the high patent leather on a shoe that the patent leather matches the color of the upper. So like my Space Jams, like I love my Space Jams. You know, I'm okay with it on those. But like the Concords, like I saw, you know, Brazy and Lady L, we saw old boy at the festival today with the Concords on, and he was walking, and I swear to you, like I see him, and I don't know why. I just don't like him as much. Not that I don't like the shoe. I just like the 2011 shoe better than the 18 shoe. Now the 18 shoe was like very high quality. The patent leather was super dope. The upper was very crispy. I mean, I don't think it's a bad shoe. I'll probably end up with a pair of them, but if I had an 18 pair and a fresh 2011 pair sitting next to each other, I'm gonna pick the 2011 pair. So if they came out with cool grays with high patent leather, I'm good. The playoffs that's coming out in December, I'm good. But for whatever reason, like the when like 82s and the Concords, the 18 Concords, I didn't like as much. It's not that I disliked them or despised them or anything like that. I just don't like them as much.
I can agree. Space Jams. Like I like the 2009 Space Jams versus the ones that I think they dropped in like 2016.
16.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer to get a new 09 pair versus a 16 pair.
Mm-hmm. So now, do you like the lower cut on the patent leather as well?
A lower cut.
The lower cut of the patent leather. Because I think on GS sizes, like on my son's pair of 18s, his pair looks like a 2011 pair. Like on the GS sizes, the patent leather is lower on the
all
GS.
of them like that.
Yeah, they have to do that just because they make the shoe small enough to fit, you know, the GS size.
2018 Concords.
What's that?
I said I love my 2018 Concords.
Yeah, and I was gonna say the cut. The cut is almost the same as your OGs.
Well, you have she has a GS pair though, so we got people in the chat, like everybody, man. It seems like when you bring up 11s, man, everybody has an opinion.
Everybody loves 11s. Like who doesn't love 11s?
If you if you don't,
I'm looking at you. They ain't all that. They call them right, Tin City. They all right.
11s.
Man, 11. I fuck with 11s. Like I fuck with 11s. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I mean, I know some people that if it's an 11, they're going to get every single pair of them. They don't care.
Nah, I get every pair. Fuck that.
I know people that's like that. You know, I'm not like that. I'm probably like that with 4s, maybe. You know, I probably would drop 4s, and honestly, I'm like that with 1s now, almost. You know, but I wasn't always that way. But I got people saying, you know, here in the chat, right, and which PM Kick says, "Die the souls." Once again, it's the same as a soul swap. I don't know about that. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. He also said they can't call it the blackouts because it takes the value away from the original pair, and that's talking about why they call it cap and gown and not call it blackout. That's a valid point because they do rename shoes and try to stick to the name of the shoe, and they feel like a lot of times you'll see Nike do that. You see a lot of manufacturers do that. They don't want to call something the same name because they had something that came out before, and they don't want to take anything away from that.
Well, they didn't want to come out with the same blackout because it would have taken away from. So they probably had to make it a little bit different.
But they never came out, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, people never came out. They never released.
That's the reason why it's a holy grail to me, was because it was It's almost like it's like a car show, right? It's like when they release these concept cars, right? Like when a car comes out at a car show and they show you this concept of this vehicle to get you all excited about it, like what the possibilities can be. But then when the actual car comes out, they got to deal with all the safety and they got to make it to where, you know, they can actually mass produce it and people can actually drive it, right? So that concept car that looked real pretty, that might not be safe or it might be hard to make it. I feel like that's the same thing that happens with some of these samples. You know, they give you an idea and you say, oh, wow, that's crazy. I would really love that. But then due to whatever reason, they never actually release the shoe. But then what happens is a couple of those samples leak out. So, I know that there's a pair of blackout 11s or a few of those out there and, you know, that people have that are in existence. But to me, it's a grail because I can't have them, you know. I don't have a pair. I know it exists, but I don't have it.
Like why they didn't decide to release it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. You gotta know somebody at Nike. Figure that out.
I wanted to show this to Queen real quick. She said she can't tell the difference between the low cut and the high cut. So this is an 11 Concord. You see the height there. And then on a Space Jam, you can see how much more you got. So there's a difference. If you had to measure it, I'm not gonna lie, it's not much, but it is very distinct, and it's way more distinct on like a Concord or a Win Like 82.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the cut, right? You can talk about the cut because I mean you can tell the difference depending on, and it seems like it's going up and down a little bit over the years, different from shoe to shoe. It'll be different. But one thing we talk about, I know me and Fatboy talk about all the time, man. Since we just, it seems like we talking about 11s right now, man. How do y'all feel about the 11 low, the Jordan 11 low?
No.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
On no level.
Because I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
Look at Fat Boy. I think they fire. I think them Jeter 11 lows was fire. I think them Baron 11 lows. The Baron 11 lows was fire.
All right. The Baron 11 lows almost got me. I'm not gonna lie. They almost got me. The way the patent leather was, like the detail on the patent leather on the Baron lows, it was a really, really dope shoe. The reason why I didn't buy it, because it was a low. Couldn't do it. Now, if that shoe would have came out in a mid, people would have been fighting each other for that shoe if it came out in the mid. Like, period. Like, that shoe, it was beautiful. It just needed to be in the mid, man. Ugh, breaks my heart it wasn't.
See this conversation divides people. I feel like it's a 50-50 down the middle thing, and I gotta say what side I'm on. I don't have any respect for any Jordan 11 low except for the ones that originally released back in the day. Right. And those they didn't even have patent on it. It was just a different shoe. There's only two colorways that they released. One was black and one had a little bit of white in it. Those are the only 11 lows that I have any respect for that I would ever rock. The patent leather lows, I just can't rock with it because every time I see somebody, and this happens probably on a daily basis, I see somebody with the Jordan 11 low with the patent leather, I get excited a little bit, and then I realize it's a low, and then and then I'm like,
it happened to me 2 or 3 times a day at the food truck festival. Like people had them emerald 11s on, I get all excited, and I'm like, oh.
I don't think some of them, if they was high tops, I don't think some of them would be as dope than the low top version. The emeralds probably would have looked ugly as a high top.
The emerald should have never been made. Let's just be real.
That's how you feel, nigga?
Yeah, man. The emerald should have never been made, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. Those are fire. I like the shoe. You see what I'm saying? The reason why I think I get so mad at the 11 lows with the patent on it is because I wish they were mids. Because I think some of them are dope. Those emerald lows, I think those are dope. Those would be dope if they were mids. I think those there's a bunch of them out there. They got some gold ones, they got some red ones. They got a bunch of them out there.
The closing ceremonies in a mid. Oh my.
Yeah, like they got some dope, you know what I mean? And it like upsets me. It's like, why do you do that? I also don't like this idea. Not even talking about 11s. I am not with the idea of Jordan Brand thinking that they can take every Jordan and cut half of the shoe off and turn it into a low. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that.
I don't like any 11. I don't like any low Jordans. Period. None of them. At all. Like you want to see me get sideways? Show me a Jordan that was originally a mid, and they made a low out of. So I'll just throw up all over the place.
So would you categorize mid ones as the same thing as Team Jordans?
Man, I wouldn't categorize them as Team Jordans, but I do not rock with mid.
I would.
I can't mess with them, man. Can't mess with them. The way that cut is, man, I don't know, just something about that cut. It's just weird to me, man. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I mean, I would categorize mid ones like the same. Like, there's people who love, people love SB dunks, and people like dunk lows. People like dunk highs, but they also have the dunk mid, and that's just like, there's a lot of people is like, nah, what do they make these for? Why are you doing this to us? Like, what, like, what is the purpose of this?
Yeah, just
I feel the same way about
the low or the high.
Yeah, I feel the same way about the Jordan 1 mid as I do about the SB Dunk mid. But I mean, I'm probably a hypocrite because, okay, ask me about some Air Force One lows or Air Force One highs or Air Force One mids. The Air Force One mid to me is a classic sneaker. Like, I could rock those all day long. I think it's a dope shoe. So I don't know. Maybe it's just what I'm used to, stuck in my ways type of situation, but I just don't like it.
That's where a lot of my my bias comes from on these sneakers. Like, y'all asked me about the Concord 11s, the 2011 pair. Is it literally Brazy? Like, if you articulated that perfectly, is what was in my head of what a Concord 11 was for so long. Then you see something that's different. It's not that. Again, in that case, I don't despise the shoe. I just preferred one to the other, just off of what's in my, what's seared into my mind. Hey, them boy in here trashing futures, boy.
I see that, man. People in the chat going ham on the.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I love me some futures, bro. I love it. Them things was comfortable, bro. God, them things was comfortable.
Negative. Never could do the futures.
Man, them damn 11s, especially the ones that had the knit. Oh, they were so comfortable, boy. Because the 11 soles, midsoles, it's like 11s to me are pretty comfortable. They're not 10 comfortable, but it was just it was comfortable shoe and it was cheap. It was inexpensive. And when I couldn't afford $400 for a pair of Concords, I could afford 2 or 3 pair of futures. But now all of the futures are gone, and now I have plenty of actual 11s to keep me warm.
I think, okay, when you start talking about Jordan futures, and I think the reason people don't like them is because you start going down a lane that we have been down before, where you take elements of a certain shoe and then you make another shoe out of it, right? So for someone like me, when I see a pair of futures, I can clearly see that the sole and the midsole is a Jordan 11. And then I look at the top of the shoe and I'm just like, what is this? So that's the same way I feel the same way about and don't lie if you had a pair, the same way I feel about Air Force Jordans or Spizikes or any of these other mash 6 rings. Keep it real. See, look, and somebody had them. You feel me? All these other
they were dope at the time, though. A lot of them was dope at the time. Spizikes and them Air Force Fusions. They was dope at the time.
Oh, I'm guilty. I'm not afraid to admit. Like, I don't know if did I ever get those? I know there was a pair of the Air Force Jordans that dropped that I either got or I really want. Like, I know I don't have them anymore, but I know there was some, that I wanted. Team Jordans. There's some Team Jordans that dropped. Like, when they dropped, they was fire. Everybody had them. There's some Team Jordans now that people still consider classics. There's a couple silhouettes of those that people consider classics.
And I ain't gonna lie, somebody in here saying 6 rings was fire, and I'm just staring at it like
they were.
At one time they was. Like
11th grade in high school, everybody had on 6 rings. It was either like the black and red ones, or they came out with like a girl version color, like gray, like a blue and purple. I remember being in the mall. Everybody was in the mall like 6 o'clock in the morning trying to get 6 rings.
Really?
Yes, that's back when like the Citadel Mall, when all the shoe stores were like right in that middle area across from each other.
I think that sounds like it's more tied to the nostalgia for you than it is the shoe itself. That's what it sounds like to me.
It's not a shoe I dislike, but like I don't know what I call it
up here now.
Right. That's it again. Like I don't have any futures anymore. They're all gone.
Okay, you know what though too? You know what's kind of crazy to me? Because like a comment that somebody just said in the chat, they started talking about the posits, the total posit, the hyper posits, the chuck posits, and all that stuff like that. You know what? I'm willing to let all those slide because I like anything foam so much that you know what I'm saying. So I'm willing to roll with those. Like I like all of them. I like the hyper posits and chuck posits and all that or whatever. So I think it might just be an individual, personal thing. Whether you're willing to let them take a shoe and change some elements of the shoe up.
All right, hey. But back to what everybody's grill is, because I ain't gonna lie, but we done got way down the rabbit hole, boy.
Facts.
Them blackout 11s, bro. I think that's always gonna be a very contentious debate between myself, Brazy, and Bees. Like we always gonna go at it over that shit. And I said, I swear to you, it's only because Bees loves the cap and gowns the way he loves a pair of 12s, and that's fine. That's cool. But blackouts.
All right, check this out. So y'all won't think I think the blackout 11s are super dope as well. But being that they're so hard to obtain, I'm not gonna chase that shoe. I know I can't get it when the cap and gowns came. Might as well just grab the cap and gowns. I could do the same thing I was gonna do with the blackout 11s with the cap and gowns.
And that's what I looked at with the gold toe ones, because I wanted the top 3 gold toe ones, and I still do. But I was able to get close by getting, just the regular gold toes. Now, if the opportunity presents itself where I can get the gold toe top 3 ones, oh yeah, I'm getting them. And the gold toes I got, I'm gonna let them fly. So I ain't got to see what you're saying, but when we're talking about like holy grails. That blackout 11, man. Like if I won the lottery tomorrow, and money is not an object, that's probably gonna be one of the first sneakers I pick up.
Man,
so Brazy, you said yours was blackout 11s was like a holy grail.
Yeah,
you
blackout 11s, holy grail,
Tim
personal grail, Tim Duncan's, any colorway. Probably most likely the silver ones. That's probably my number one. But if I can get my hand on a pair of the black ones,
the other day.
Yeah, I see him on the gram and online all the time. I get sick, whatever, when I see somebody with a fresh pair of those. But that's just me personally. Just being from the DC area originally, foams is like really big. So, and the Tim Duncan foams is probably like the hardest foams for anybody. Foam posit ones, flight posits, Tim Duncans, pretty much anything foam posit is just a big deal to me. And of that, the hardest one to get is the Tim Duncans, which I feel like they need to re-release. I don't know why they're not they would sell out immediately if they re-release those shoes. I know they would.
I'm not gonna lie, like when you put me onto those are pretty damn dope. I actually like them myself. Now we're talking like Grails too. Are we talking about shoes that I think he said shoes that we want, not that we have. Because I was able to knock out, I think, probably about like 3 or 4, I think, last year of my Grails, probably my top 5. Now I consider it like a hit list. So I'll take this opportunity to go ahead and say what my Grails are. So I'll probably say holy Grails would be, I'm right there with Brazy. I'll probably say the blackout 11s. And the actual PEs of the LeBron 9 Miami Hurricanes. And only difference between what I have and the actual PE is on one of the tongues. It actually has the Miami logo. It actually has the U on one of the tongues. So you can imagine, if one player, each player got one pair of those, maybe some of the staff, you're probably talking about maybe 15 to 20 of those sneakers being in existence. And then one being in my size. Yeah, that's probably a shoe that if I come across in the 12 and I got the money, I'll probably swing for the fences for it. So I'll probably say those would be my holy grails. I'll probably say my personal grails right now. And I'll probably say there's 2 of them. And I would say the black toe unions and the them Soulfly ones, not the black and green ones, but the white ones. Man, that shoe, God Almighty, I need those like bad, and I'm gonna pay for them too, and I do not care. Whenever I go down to Miami this year for a ball game, whenever they play in Florida, I will have those on my feet. Whatever the Nike
Michael.
Miami jersey on, not
Now
no
there's
Adidas jersey.
there's some people that's gonna look at you crazy though for saying that two shoes that came out in the last 3 months are Grails
Mm-hmm.
to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole conversation we have. And like, how can that be?
Yep.
You can get a pair of black. It's gonna cost you some money. It's gonna cost you some bread. But if you really want a pair of black toe unions, you can go online right now and get a pair.
Pay
If you really
$700.
want a pair of Soulfly ones, Art Babs, whatever you want to call them, you can go online right
$1,200.
now and get you a pair.
Yep.
You know how much they cost. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So
Yep.
it's not
It's
like
gonna cost you $2,000 for both pair.
now those PE LeBrons you were talking about. I feel like a player exclusive. That's basically like a sample, isn't it? Isn't that basically the same thing?
Well,
I mean,
isn't
in a
a
lot of
sample of
cases.
something that's never been released, right?
True. But a player exclusive has never been released to the public. They made some shoes for the player and maybe some coaches or some people like that. And there might be, if they make some sample pairs, there's probably similar numbers of those shoes floating around as there are some of these PEs. Going back to, not to keep mentioning the same person, but going back to that perfect pair video that I watched, that was his biggest thing, was samples and PEs.
Mm-hmm.
I think mine would be the bread toe ones, the Great 5s, and the Wing 12s. Right now, my top 3, what I will go get. If I had to get it tomorrow, those are top 3 I will go for.
Wing 12s. Whew.
Yeah, man.
That's flames. That's flames.
And I've been chasing an opportunity to get the Great 5s many times, but I'm just so nervous that you spend that money to get them black Great 5s and turn around for it to re-retro. That's what I'm nervous about.
But do you have any Holy Grails, B?
Holy Grails? Not really. Not that I could think of.
2012 fucking cement you give me, motherfucker.
But you can still grab them for like a nice price though.
Like 3, 4 in it, maybe 2.
Yeah, I don't really got no Holy Grails. It's kind of like I'm also like if it's not obtainable, I just don't. I'm not trying to get it anyway.
I hear you. 10 City Lady L. What y'all Grails? What y'all looking for?
Well, of course the Sacramento. Really that city pack. I love that city pack. Period. I can't even front to you. That whole city pack would be like a Grail for me.
How many shoes dropped? How many? I know they had Chicago, they had Charlotte, they had LA, New York. What else did they have?
Sac, and then what's that? Seattle.
Oh,
and now are you talking about the OG city pack, the one that literally dropped back in? What was that?
The first pack.
94, yeah. Because that was when Jordan wasn't playing, so they put I think from different cities. I think Nick Anderson obviously had his, and they went through just different players across the country, and they gave them their own 10. All right, that's cool.
That and then a PSNY 10.
Yeah, I actually like some of them PSNY 12s too.
Yeah, all them shits fire.
All of them.
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah, the PSNY.
Shout out to give a quick shout out to BRAZYKICCZ for the $1.99 super chat. E-Money Shoes for the $10 super chat. You cool with me, man. You cool with me, brother.
Hey, E-Money, let me get $1.
Yeah, let me hold something.
Let me hold something.
Give me $1 too.
Let me hold something,
Let me hold
something. Down the middle, Bob.
London, Rio, yeah. OG the Hitman in the chat said talking about the London. Yeah, I remember there was some
the London
international ones.
Yeah, hard.
The Paris was hard.
The Shanghai's super savage.
Yeah, Shanghai's. Yep. Hey, 10 City. Which PSNYs are you talking about? The black ones or the red ones?
Really, the black, both of them do it, but them black ones is the ones, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, them black ones cold. I about to say the red ones look almost like your Weebies that you got.
Yeah.
But them black ones, them things cold. Damn.
What's up, Lady L? What's your personal grails?
Taxis.
Straightforward.
Yes, taxis. The Bel Air 5s.
Go ahead and flex on them, bees, because I see it right behind your head back there.
Where's that? I don't see it. Where is that?
Right behind there. What he act like he don't know where it's at.
Yeah, I think you don't know where he at.
Oh, right here.
Right there.
Oh, I can't.
Mr. had 2 pairs of them shit.
Yeah.
Balling ass nigga.
Them things cold.
Top 3 of my collection. Top 3 of my collection.
Yeah, those are fire, man. Those are fire.
Cold.
I cannot sleep on those.
Tonight.
Funny side story. I tried to buy those for Carter for his birthday one year, and I showed him afterwards. He was like, "Yeah, I don't like those." Then I think like a few months later, he saw him again. He was like, "Yeah, Dad, I like those." I was like, "Oh," I was like, "What the heck changed your mind?" But yeah, he was about to be out there super flexing on cats with those, man, and he wasn't feeling them at the time, so I passed on him.
Yo, the chat is lit, man. There's a lot of people in here. They got some good questions, man.
Yeah.
I see E Money Shoe said, now this is a really good question. I mean, this might be, it might be there's all 3 of these shoes for me. My answer to this question, those are all grails to me, but I guess maybe they're not because they're, re-dropping the shoes. He said, if you could only cop 3 shoes this year, which ones would it be? For me, that question is real easy. You already know. The 6s, the 4s, and the 11s. That's it. And I don't even got to say which ones I'm talking about.
Man, you ain't put no thought to that, man. You ain't put no thought to that.
6s, 4s, 11s.
He's been talking about it since last year. He's been talking about that ever since he heard about those. So that's why he was able to rattle it off.
If I don't buy any shoes if I don't buy any other shoes this year, right? If I don't buy any other shoes this year, I will get these infrared 6s. I will get the black cement 4s, and I will get the bread 11s. No matter what, that's hands down. I don't care if I cop any other sneakers this entire year. I'm getting all of those no matter what.
I will have to throw those off-white Air Max 90s in there. I think those shits fire.
Mm-hmm. The Desert Ore?
Yeah, the Desert Ore. That's my pick. But both of them, any one would be dope. But if I had to pick one of the 2, I'll pick the Desert Ore.
Now, if you miss them in the draw, you gonna go after them in resale?
Yeah, I probably would. That's something I probably would. It would be. I will probably buy those faster than I get the UNC off-white ones.
Mm-hmm.
I want those that bad. So if I miss them on a draw or whatever the raffles and everything, I'm gonna double back and grab those.
I'd probably say my 3. One of them coming out Friday, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm jacked about those. The Air Max 720s. I've been waiting on them since last year. And he was wondering what 3 shoes that are releasing this year, not just 3 shoes in general. So I would say the Air Max 720s, that purple of the Aurora Borealis pair. I want to get my hands on the Volt pair and the playoff 11s.
AKA bread.
Yeah, bread, playoffs. Those are must. Those are must get. That might be
that's some must have. Some must have.
Yeah.
I probably chase those like those. All right, them off-white Air Max. If it is what it is, those are the black and royal 12s.
Yeah,
I want those.
Those are cold. Those are very cold.
And it's probably a toss-up between BRAZYKICCZ, the bread 11s, the infrared 6s, and probably if out of the 3, I would want the cement 4s more than
that's
all the rest of them. But I probably might pick one one of the off-white Air Max Cement 4s and them Game Royal and black 12s. That's my 3.
Lady L, 10 City.
I don't think I have 3.
10.
I think it's just the playoffs right now.
Playoffs. Playoffs.
I don't
But you already have those.
Yeah, but I don't have the 2019 pair. I have the 2012. I just have a pair. That's have a 25 on the back of it.
Wow.
So
10 City, what you trying to grab, man? What's your top 3? What's your 3 you want to grab this year?
I going real simple. Like I got the 12, the royal blue and black 12s. I really want them. Them camel 10s, definitely want those. And the black history might be my top.
That wonderful connection finally gave way.
Yeah. I think we got a connection.
Hey, your internet took a Uber ride just now. You hear?
Not a whole Uber ride.
10 City, 10 City, we ain't hear you, man. Your internet left us, and you muted. You mute yourself.
Right now.
Damn! I ain't tripping. But no, I said the royal blue and black 12s, the camel 10s, and then the black history month 2s be like my top 3 for the year. If I had a pick.
Ooh. Okay.
I will
Black History Month drop next week.
If any idea when the Converses drop?
yes, I want those.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like those can slide into my top 3. I don't own a pair of Chucks,
So you can make that
those.
too.
Yeah, that'll be one I need.
Man,
I want the hot punch 4s too. So that could be number 3.
Them hot punch 4s are fire.
We just got them. We just got them for the kids today. Oh my God!
Yeah.
On feet, man. Yeah.
Dropping soon.
I'd like to say I did point that out to a lot of people. I just want to.
Yeah, I mean, because like the pictures, there's no justice done in the pictures. Like it wasn't until you said it, then I was in APB, and I picked them up and I had them in hand, and I was like, oh,
those
man.
shoes are crazy, man. Those shoes are just ridiculous, man.
Man, people slept on those, bro.
Yeah, man.
They slept on those.
I mean, I'm thinking like all I can think about when I look at those shoes is what they're gonna look like if somebody goes somewhere with this black light.
Yeah. Now, have they? Is there a Valentine's Day pair coming out? Has there been anything coming up about that?
Trash.
The last couple years.
All the way trash.
Trash.
Yes.
What are they? The Valentine's.
It's a pair of 4s.
So is it like
Lord.
in 2019 is the year of 4s?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Them hyper crimson ones. They got another like hyper crimson 4s coming out too. It's like white with that orange on it as well.
No 4s for me. I good.
Bruh. These Valentine. Ugh. The hell?
Let me see what we're talking about here. Valentine's 4s, huh?
Hey, Bees, when you cop them 4s, I'll definitely come in your collection and try them on, see how they look on feet, though. But I ain't buying them.
Which 4s? Which ones?
Whichever one you cop, I come to put my damn big ass foot in them, bitch.
Only one I'm getting is the cement 4s.
That's cool.
For
I
right
come
now.
put my foot in them bitches just for the hell of it.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. These damn Valentine's Day 4s.
Sleep, right? You sleep all the way sleep. Like fall off the chair sleep.
Let me check these things out, man. I know
Shout
you
out
ain't
Menace
talking about these
2874 for the $5 super chat.
No.
Man.
Are you talking about these maroon with the white bottom things?
Maroon?
Yeah.
Is this what we talking about? Are we serious?
Dude, after that fire they dropped last year?
No,
What?
these are not.
That can't be real, man.
You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna
That's
do?
for Lady Eldon, though.
I'm gonna reserve judgment.
I'm gonna reserve judgment.
Yeah,
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna reserve judgment because I'm looking at the shoe, and I got to see like a kind of a front and side view of the shoe. They got the white Jumpman on the tongue, white laces, and the white bottom. I kind of think the shoe looks dope. I had to see I had to see somebody with them on. I had to see somebody with them on.
The color scheme ain't bad. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'll rock them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just off the break, just based on what I see immediately say these are not fire, because you know what, I'm trying to learn not to do that as much, because I'll see a shoe and my first impression is like, man, this is trash. Then I see it in person and my mind's completely changed, or I see somebody rock the shoe and be like, wow, they really freaked that, So actually looking at it, depending on what the material looks like and everything, I could see how that might be fire. I could see how somebody could rock it. I'm not going to just throw it directly in the trash can. I'm not going to do that. But I will say it has nothing on those 8s from last year at all. Like, it's not even on the same level.
Oh, them 8s? Oh, them 8s been hard.
Yeah, it's not even the same level.
Bro,
like,
8s.
Can't even compare.
But yeah, what you think about them 8s though?
Those are nice.
Them things fire. I remember I had those in hand.
Yeah, those are dope.
PM kicks out the chat. He was like them flower print forms. Y'all seen them?
Those are pretty. I like those.
Yeah, I like those.
I do like those. I do like them. I'm gonna get them on StockX below retail, but I like them.
What my man say? I hoop in them.
Oh, dude want to see what the let's see.
With the Valentine's Day things.
Oh yeah, those 4s.
Yeah. I can't see that. Oh well.
I had them pulled up right here. I don't know. Yeah, that's the picture I had pulled up. That's a good picture of it.
The color scheme was dope. I like the color scheme.
I don't think those are actually not that bad. Is that satin on the heel tab right there?
I don't think so.
That looks like a satin. I mean, I'm talking about the same kind of satin that you see on the like any satin like Nike or Jordan shoe you see. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, man. This is a huge no look pass right here, bro.
That's a thumbs down.
I agree. I'll definitely reserve final judgment until I see him in hand. But first blush, I ain't feeling that.
And you looking at like this supposed to be the year of the 4s, and they coming out, they beginning the year off like kind of bad.
Kinda.
Are you referring to the laser? Are you talking about the laser 4s too? Are we talking about those too?
Oh no! I think the laser 4s. I think the laser 4s hard, and I think the tattoo 4s hard.
The tattoos are hard. I think tattoos are hard. The laser 4s, if everything was the same and they just weren't laser, I would think those were like a must-have. Gotta cop those because I love 4s. The laser turned me off on those.
Really?
Yeah. I think
that gun bottom though. That gun bottom though.
I might do. I might just do like FATBOY. See if I get a below retail on StockX. I might just go ahead and do that. Not saying I wouldn't rock them.
But some of these shoes, and again, just based off of what I'm trying to do, not just buying stuff just for the sake of buying them. If it's a shoe that I know that I'm going to want and a lot of people not going to care that much for, I'm definitely waiting for that below retail on StockX on a lot of this stuff. Because them foams, them flower print foams, them things cold. But I ain't paying $250 for them.
But I'm a big, if the pattern doesn't match, that kind of bothers me. And it looks like when I saw the back of it, it's not even. The pattern.
Oh, you talking about on the back?
Yeah, that kind of bothers me. That's a little.
You talking about on here?
Yeah, it doesn't like
But like
one
it's
flower
mismatches
is
from
kind of
here to here.
higher, and instead of it like going together, and
But
that
that's
I feel
literally
like
like because there's 3 seams on the phone, so you're gonna have that problem like right here because that's a seam, and then you gonna have that seam in the back. You know, so
yeah.
we got to see how that line up. Well, who that walking around the
They
hospital?
didn't line up, but I felt like they should have.
Like, what's going?
I felt like they should have had it lined up for the quality.
Yeah,
Like,
I need to look that. I need to look that up because I ain't gonna lie, that might be a breaker for me too.
So we got a
What else
bunch
we
of
got?
shoes dropping coming up this next week, man.
Let's talk
Shit,
about it.
I'm jacked about Friday, boy. I can't wait for them 720s.
It's so much coming out too. You got because
Yeah,
we
it's
got
a
that
lot.
Friday, the BHM2s dropped that Friday as well.
Mm-hmm.
And them
All the
720s.
black,
Then the
all
next
the
day
Black
you got the
History
Laney
Month.
5s.
Yo,
But
somebody in
ADL,
the
I see
chat
what you're
earlier
saying.
asked about those. What do people, what do we think about those? Those ladies, man. What do y'all think about those lady flowers? We talked about it a little bit last week.
But
They
then for
cold.
me,
I ain't gonna
I
buy
caught
them
them
though.
for my niece though.
Yeah, they fire, but not for me.
I think they do. I think they fire too.
I'm not
They
a
for
five
me.
fan.
They
Yo,
for
they're
me.
dropping
I'll
like
get them.
30 pairs of shoes on Friday, man. Like,
30?
this is crazy.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just counting as I'm counting. There's so much. There's so many shoes dropping. This next weekend coming up. There's so many shoes dropping.
But a lot of
And
them
you know,
shoes releasing flam though.
because
Yeah,
Yeah, true
February is
that.
normally a
True,
hot month.
true. Yeah, February is. I'm looking forward to those infrareds. There's a bunch of other shoes, man. This looks like it's going to be one of those months where there are going to be more shoes that drop that I would like than I'm able to, realistically get. And I want to have to choose. Those infrared sixes are such a, like I really want that shoe, really bad. I have an idea that I know if you don't get it when it releases, you're not going to get it under retail. I don't see that happening on that shoe. So I feel
and
like
they
I'm just going to default to getting that shoe just because I know everything else I may have a chance of getting maybe at or close to retail. But I know those sixes is something, if you want it, you got to get it. So there's a lot of dope stuff dropping that I think I'm going to like a lot, but just going to default to the sixes. I like a lot
And
of these Air Maxes that are dropping.
heads up, those floral foam posits is a Valentine's Day drop.
Don't have no positives in my damn collection, but I might cop those and I might double back for my Sequoias, motherfucker.
Man, the uppers on them Sequoias, fire, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking at them phones. I think I'm gonna have to get those.
here's a shoe that's dropping real soon. I don't see a date anywhere, but I've seen them everywhere. I just want to ask what y'all think about them. Those Air Max 1 Golfs.
Oh man, you talking about the grass?
I'm talking about the grass shoes.
I got a dude at my job say he gonna cop them just too. I'm not wasting my money to do none of that. None of that. Talking about, I just want to see how they feel on feet. If it feel like I'm walking in grass, no sir, bro.
He need to
No
stop
sir.
that. He need to stop that.
Let me get this for the people who can't see what we're talking about. Hold up. Let me get this.
Damn, old boy said the Sequoia is 129.
Fucking money.
The pony hair sixes, hell yeah.
Yeah, this is the grass right here. If you can see that, this
Man,
is what
that
we're talking
shit
about.
ugly as fuck.
Hey, keep in mind these are for golf, okay? It's supposed to be a golf shoe.
I don't give a damn.
Oh, them boy talking about
Menace.
let bees hit him with a lace swap. Boy, stop.
I can't do nothing with that. I can't do nothing with that, Bubba. Nothing at all.
You get the dirt laces. You get the dirt laces. You got it. You good, yo.
Boy,
you get the straw laces. Let's go.
Get some sweet grass. Yeah, that's terrible, man.
I mean,
PM
what do y'all think, man?
PM Kick say them grass joints fire.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, quickly, just smoking that dope.
Oh
He
man.
gotta be trolling. Gotta be
gotta be,
trolling.
man.
Yeah, he is.
Gotta be, man.
He know better than that.
Hey,
Yo.
them boy talking about them coochie hairs too, man.
You talking about them? You talking about them pony hair? The pony hair? I can't mess with them, man.
Fire, bro.
I still can't mess with them, man. I'm out, man. I'm out on them.
Listen, I'm gonna get a wave brush, some Murrays, and a do rag for mine.
You put a do rag on them?
I had a wave spinning in them pony hairs, boy.
Nigga looking like AB coming out y'all.
You put the stocking cap sixes?
Hell yeah, boy. I'm gonna call what's the dude name? Papa Nando on Instagram. I'm gonna get one of them velvet do rags for that.
Hey, I'm still
out on that
over there.
Brazy.
Some grass Air Max in my grills. Them boy wildin', boy.
Oh goodness.
Yo, boys, hell on the damn grass.
I can't go.
Man.
I mean, speaking of trolling, y'all think because I mean I feel like Nike does this a lot. I feel like Nike just trolls a lot. Like I feel like they just sit in the boardroom and say, "Man, let's just see if they buy it. Let's just put it out and see what they do."
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's going on here.
Once they sell out, they gonna sell out too. I'm telling you, man.
But they only sell out. They ain't gonna I don't think they're gonna put a huge quantity out there. That's what's gonna make them sell out.
Right. And then that's gonna like stir the pot too.
Yeah. Because now everybody thinking like, oh, they sold out. Now everybody, you know how that. Then that's gonna turn into a hype beast shoe.
I'm telling you, you're gonna go to a sneaker con and somebody gonna have them things on. I'm telling you right now. Somebody.
It's gonna be somebody we know. They're gonna have them shoes on with some Supreme underwear, some Supreme undershirt, and a Supreme everything on.
That boy PM said they gonna come in a lawnmower bag. Bruh. Hey, them boy trolling on them grass joints, man. Hey, Beez, you gotta get a pair and review them though, man. Real talk.
Wow. Wow, yes. What? Look,
that'll be the greatest. That'll be the ultimate troll of sneaker reviews, bro.
I will have to review that and accept all trolls in my comments.
Yes.
I will have to eat all that.
Hey, finesse the on feet too.
You gonna have somebody be like, "Oh man, them shit's fire."
You gotta
listen.
do
People legit like them.
You gotta do the on feet.
Them boy crazy.
But the on feet has to be in grass though. You gotta do it in some grass.
Yes, fresh cut.
I need to go down there to Coosaw Creek and do it on the do it on the 18 hole, right there on the golf course. Yeah.
Hey, I can get you onto the Daniel Island Club, bro. I'm cool around there.
Hey, I see. Somebody on the chat said that those chlorophyll 3s was a troll.
Man, but to me, like the ultimate troll last year was those the ones, the no resale, whatever. Like that was a troll to me, man.
But they knew that was gonna happen. They knew that was gonna sell out, and they was going. Oh, that resale was going. They try to bring back that exclusiveness with them, with those.
Well, you know that some stores, when on both pairs of those ones, some in-store releases, they like literally every store like made up. Well, not every store, but some stores made people put the shoe on and un-DS the shoe in the store before they could leave with the shoe.
Which I thought was silly, but whatever.
You know,
and even with doing that, you could have put it on GOAT and still made a stupid profit off it.
True. Yeah.
You really ain't stopping nothing. You start with like, okay, I put them on, walked out the store. I can't put them on StockX. I can get just as much putting them on eBay, GOAT, or just selling them right off of whatever Facebook or however you sell them. You ain't even gonna stop nothing, really.
Nope.
I don't think it was like, you know, what made it a troll to me. The thing that made it a troll to me was not for resale on the shoe, was not putting no photos on the shoe. That wasn't what the troll was. The troll was doing that and then only making what the one only had like 7,000 pairs or something, or
Making
something like that. That was the troll maneuver. Yes, obviously you have limited the shoe so severely that there's nothing that can happen except for it to be resold for somebody to get it. That's the part that was a troll. I
felt like Nike trolled every sneakerhead that bought that shoe hard.
I think they only troll the people who pay resale for it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. If you bought a pair off of StockX or GOAT or out of Stadium Goods or Flight Club, yeah.
And then you have to look at that shoe and it says not for resale on it, and you know you paid $1,000 for it, then yeah, maybe.
Ugh. Sneaks on Demand say, any thoughts on the turbo green ones? Cop or drop? What y'all think? I think that's a cop for me.
I think it'll be a dope shoe around Easter.
It's a very springtime shoe to me. I think the shoe is dope, but it's gonna be a pass for me. Just because
it's gonna be a pass for me too.
It's gonna be a pass. I believe I could too, you know. I think I could rock them. I'm not saying the shoe is not dope. I just think it's gonna be a pass for me because I just feel like I'm looking at shoes now. I'm looking at, do I like this shoe right now? But am I gonna like this shoe a year from now? Am I gonna like this shoe 5 years from now? And I think I like the shoe now, but I think I'm gonna feel the same way I feel about a lot of shoes that I copped in the past couple of years, where I ended up getting rid of them because the moment passed on the shoe where I was really feeling them, but I'm not going to be feeling it down the road as well. And I'm staying away from like white shoes a lot now too, man, with too much white. Because I like my shoes to be clean, and it's just too hard to keep them clean.
And what about the writing now that they're putting on the sides of the ones, like the ones that just released, the neutral grays have that writing underneath the check. Looks like these turbo greens are gonna have the same thing. What do y'all make of that?
I think is Nike doing all these collaborations and see how people are going crazy for the collaborations. So they stealing ideas, because not only is that writing on there, but if you look at the actual the tongue is
like that
deconstructed as well. Yeah. So they doing a lot of things that, and you remember now after this Virgil done. So they steal some of these concepts and keep even it's another one, right? The Converse, not the Converse, the Blazers. You seen the Blazers on the side of the
some of the ones that just dropped.
Yeah, those. Look at those Blazers. Those Blazers steal concepts as well from when Virgil did the collaboration with Nike with the Blazers. They just taking them concepts and putting it out there to make it look like they're exclusive without the collaborations.
Yeah, that's why I said blame Virgil, man. Any of that stuff you see, and it's not just Nike doing it. I think, man, there's a pair of Reeboks that are sitting in a Foot Locker right now. There's a couple pairs, and the shoe is all deconstructed. It has writing all over the shoe, and you see everybody doing it. So I just feel like Virgil has such a huge impact with the off-white collabs with Nike have done that if you look at a lot of shoes that are coming out, they're just everybody's trying to bite off that. They're trying to reconstruct the shoe. They're trying to switch some of the logos around, do all these different things. I even think those Travis Scott ones that are coming out with the reverse swoosh on them, I think that's a little Virgil-ish. I said that about the Union ones when I first saw them. I said, "Oh, this looks real off-white."
I think the Union ones had its own. I think it had its own vibe to it. I think the Union ones was. I wouldn't mix that with Off-White. I think they had a different vibe to it.
I think they're better than the Off-White ones, in my opinion.
I agree. I think that was a little better.
The quality of that shoe is crazy, man.
I would say this, having actually having a pair of the Union ones. I would say that they're equal to like the Off-White ones as far as the idea for the shoe. But I honestly feel if it wasn't for the Off-White ones, not even just the ones, just all the Off-White, like the 10, Or
Yeah,
I guess I
the
could ask
union.
that question: would the unions exist if it wasn't for that, or even if they
I
did,
don't think so.
even if that collaboration with Union, happened, would the shoe look that way? I just think it's this. I think it's Virgil. I think it's the style. I think it's that. I think Virgil started a trend, and I think that people are following the trend, Nike included, is
Yep.
following that trend.
I think Union took what Virgil did. It's just like in music, you'll have somebody that starts a trend, and then you'll have people that'll come in. It might be better than the originator at it. I think Union executed that deconstructed mashup look better, in my opinion, than the any of the ones. I felt like it was cleaner. I mean, it just looked a lot better to me. It can be considered busy, especially on the blue toes, but like it's still, to me, it just looks fresher and cleaner to me than the off white.
Yeah, because they didn't really put pieces to it or like made it look like, I don't know, like you look at the off-white ones and it seemed like you can tell like it could be a different shoe if you wanted
Right.
it to be. But with the unions, they took the original model and they just, did some nice little things with the upper and everything like that. And I just think that that little bit right there went a longer way than what Virgil was doing.
You know what?
But
I got to
thanks.
be honest because I'm seeing a comment in the chat by BRAZYKICCZ. He says he has both the black toe unions and the UNC off white ones, and he says the unions are 10 times better, hands down. Everything I'm saying about the off white ones is just me seeing the shoes, seeing pictures. I've seen a few people with the shoes on, but if I'm thinking about it, I've never like actually even held a pair of off white ones in my hand and like really looked at the shoe and seen how it's constructed. I'm basing everything I'm saying off of pictures and seeing a couple people with them on. So I really don't know. I can't even tell you that I really know.
What else we got on the radar? All-Star Weekend is going to be crazy too with drops.
I need the pony hairs, man.
All-Star Weekend is everything is a flip for me on All-Star Weekend.
I still haven't seen like an official list of what's dropping on All-Star Weekend.
So All-Star Weekend, we talking about the 14th? Like I guess the 14th through the 16th, I guess. Is what you would call that.
Yeah.
So we got the what? We got the 9s, we got the 1s, and we talking they're like UNC inspired colorways, navy.
Seeing those in hand,
Carolina
they
blue.
are pretty nice.
Which ones?
The UNC 9s. A shoe I'm a pass on, but it's a dope shoe in hand.
Which is the high top version? I had that shoe in 2002 or 3. I just came from Iraq, my first tour. When I came home, they released. So I want to say like 3 or 4 or something like that. Back then, they had the low top version of that.
Oh, the 9s?
Yeah.
It's a good looking shoe.
I'm not a fan of 9s really. That much. There's a couple that I like. I like the Cool Grays. I like the Barons. These ones that are coming to All-Star Weekend, just being straight up, that's a pass for me. I'm not a huge Carolina colorway fan anyway. If it's a flip, I'll grab them though.
And the infrared 6s come out that weekend as well, right?
Right, on the 16th.
16th, yep. What y'all think about those
What they gonna
Dream It Do It 9s?
Say it again.
So what y'all think about the Dream It Do It 9s? Kind of got that 90s colorway going with them.
So I'm looking at that shoe, right? Is that supposed to be a Black History Month inspired thing going on? Is that what that is?
I'm not sure because it's going to drop in March.
Oh, well. I like the idea of that shoe. But just like I just said, I'm not a huge fan of 9s. And I think maybe a reason for the me not liking the 9s as much is because there's not that many panels on the shoe. And I think when you have more panels on the shoe, I think that makes it able to, makes them able to do more with the shoe, right? So the nines just end up looking kind of monotone because there's not a lot to work with.
They're kind
That
of like
shoe, I
10.
like the idea of it because they have different colors on different panels. I just don't like the colors that they chose on that shoe. But I
Yeah,
like
like
that idea maybe with different colors.
as I'm looking at it, I actually do like them. Enough to buy them? No. But I do like them. Pretty dope shoe.
Then they do the same thing with them 9 boots. Got the same kind of colors.
Yeah, they did have one. It wasn't as mismatched like that, but yeah, they did have a colorway like that. And that was a no-look pass.
Yeah, that was easy no-look pass.
So they saying that
What about them?
Brazy is a young Floyd Mayweather?
I saw that. I saw that.
Oh, you saw that? You ain't say nothing?
I did. I laughed. I said something.
That's hilarious. I don't even know what to make of that, man. I don't know.
I take it as a compliment. I like that.
Money, man. No, but I mean, you can read and you're much more articulate than Floyd Mayweather. I don't know how to
Floyd can
take
read,
that.
man. Stop telling Floyd can read, man.
No. Yeah, okay. All right, you know what? I ain't gonna trash Floyd, man. Floyd, that dude, man.
Floyd can read them checks, man. That's all that matters.
Correct. I was about to say he can read commas. Yeah, he's good.
Imani Shoe said, "What about the do the right thing for us?"
The Sal's Pizza, right? The Sal's Pizzeria, right?
I think so. I think
the black pair
those.
and the white pair, the Italian vibes.
Yeah.
I like both. I love fours. I like both of those. I like both of those shoes.
You like the movie?
Yeah, of course. I like the reference to what's going on. So you know what? I was mad at those. They made some do the right thing fours before, if you remember, with the scuff mark on it that was supposed to be from if you've seen that movie where the dude stepped on dude's fours or whatever, and they had that vibe going on. But those, I was kind of mad when they dropped those because those were white cements before they retroed the white cements. I like both of the Sal's Pizzeria joints. I like both of the do the right thing fours. I think those are fire, both of them.
Another dope shoe I probably wouldn't cop. I'm not a big fours guy, but they are cool. I like the story behind it.
And because they lows, you don't like them? You wouldn't get the fours because they lows?
No, that cut, that's the original cut on fours.
The do the right
but
thing.
But they lows.
Those aren't lows.
But they lows. Kinda.
I'm looking at the ones I just looked at are white, red, and green.
Yeah, the white, red, and green, the black, red, and green. Those are both the Jordan 4 mid.
But what I'm saying, the fours, where it don't feel like no mid when they on your feet. They below the ankle.
Yeah, I don't like Jordan 4. I don't like any low variations of Jordans.
Oh, okay.
So I like 14s, but I don't like the Laney 4 lows. That's probably like the best of the lows, but
the 14 lows, yeah.
Yeah, 14 lows, yeah. I'm not, but like 13 lows, yeah, right. 12 lows, 1 lows, I'm dead.
I like lows, just to say, but 12 lows I think are trash, and I love the 12.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's have a moment. Let's have a moment of silence for those Jordan 12 lows, real quick.
Yeah,
they should have been dead. Now, I will say the only lows that I've ever really, really, really liked, aside from the Baron 11s, was, and y'all might think I'm crazy, but those terracotta 13s were actually interesting to me.
Oh, no, I can't do that. I can't go there.
Yeah, they were interesting.
Are you talking about the Spanish tile 13 lows?
The terracotta. Yeah, I thought those were interesting.
Would I
buy them? No.
The pottery 13 low.
Yes. I thought those were kind of interesting.
Can't do it. There's one shoe that's coming out that I just saw today for the first time today, and I guess maybe some other people saw those, but I'm actually checking for those now. But it's still going to fall into the category of there's so many shoes dropping that I don't know if I can get these. I don't even know where to get them. But there's some Air Max 90. Now I was just lost the picture I had in front of me. I think they're Air Max 97s or 98 with the denim on them. I'm looking for them right now. I just saw those. I sent y'all a link or a picture of those earlier. I'm really feeling those. I really want to know where to get those because I think those are fire. I just had a picture right here. They go right here. They drop on the 2nd. They called the Air Max 97 Wild West. And those drop on Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yeah, it says the 2nd. That's this Sunday, right? Oh, no. The 2nd is Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them. Would I buy them? No. But I literally can see you finessing the hell out of those. I feel like you already got a whole outfit already that'll just like split wigs with those.
I think those are fire. Because 97s all got 3M on it. If the parts that are 3M, I think are 3M on that shoe, I think that's a keeper. Yeah, I think that's a keeper for a while. And on the tongue of the shoe, I like those. Just me personally. There's a lot of people. I can see a lot of people not liking this shoe. I can see a lot of people saying this shoe is trash. I can see that happening too. I like the bottom, like the gum bottom. Yeah, these are fire right here. I'm feeling.
I like how they mix the Bloods and the Crips in with that shoe though. Got the red rag in there.
Oh, I see somebody said, okay, I see JP in the chat saying they don't have 95s in that colorway too. Let me see what those 95s looking like. If they do the same thing with those are gonna be fire.
Jimmy come sliding here like that.
Yeah,
man.
He just slid up, you know. They ain't gonna say nothing. Low key.
Just pulled up.
Shit, Nike paying attention to tax time. That's why they dropping all these sneakers.
Shit.
Them's just hard, right?
They mess around, drop another bread too.
So since JP just hit me to that they got some 95s coming out, I have to see what these look like. And wow, I don't know. All right, I still like the 97s more, but the 95s look hard too.
Yeah, that them 95s is a no look off the elbow Jason Williams pass for me. Hey,
Jason Williams,
City, I'm throwing that off the backboard to you, bro, so you can yam that.
And he stole that. And he stole that from Pistol Pete. But that's why.
Yeah. All right, we'll go with the Pistol Pete off the elbow. Yeah, I don't like those at all. No.
The 97s, I'm feeling those, man.
The 97s are okay, and them 95s, I'm out.
And there's so many releases I realized coming up like that. I don't know where I've been. I guess I just been asleep, or I maybe just look at sneakers and see what they have coming out or whatever. I heard somebody say earlier in the chat that we're only talking about Nike. There are other people. There are other shoe brands releasing shoes.
All right, so I'll say this. I was in APB the other day, and I was talking with my boy Carter and one of the other guys that worked in there, and they were telling me about some of the new Adidas that dropped. I think like the Night Jogger was one of them,
which is dope.
And I'm not gonna lie, that silhouette is pretty dope. It is pretty dope. And I think they showed me one other one. I can't remember the name of it right now. You have to excuse me, but I tried them both on, and they were clowning, and Carter was threatening to put me on Instagram with Adidas on my feet, and I was like, no, that's fine. But this was the problem that I ran into. You know, Ultra Boost is supposed to be super comfortable, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, I hear all that. And for me, I normally prefer the silhouettes. I think at that time I had on Acronym Prestos at the time, and I had one of my Prestos on, and then I had one of the Night Joggers on. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. They weren't more comfortable than my Prestos. They weren't. Prestos actually felt a little bit more comfortable to me than now. I have one of Prestos more, so they're probably broken a little bit better. But I didn't really feel like the Boost side of Adidas was really that big of a deal to me. I was like, I put them on. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not excited. You know, so I don't know. Adidas, they got some cool silhouettes out there, but if I'm gonna wear a pair of Adidas, it's gonna be because They got a good look to them, but they are more comfortable than Nikes. And so far, I haven't come across that Adidas yet. I've tried on quite a few pair at APB, but nothing
E-Money
really got me.
E-Money Shoes said the Yeezy Static.
Which ones?
I guess what, 50s? 350 V2s?
I'm out on those. But I will. I'm the only. I like the Wave Runners. I'm like the only person. I think those are fire.
Oh, what's somebody said something about static? Oh, somebody got static? 10 City, let's
PM
ride.
Kick
Somebody got static.
PM Kick said a Yeezy 350 Clay.
I'm out on all the 350s, man. The 350s, I'm not feeling those at all. Like really any of them. Any of them. I'm not even gonna talk. It has nothing to do with sneakers, you know what I'm saying, as far as whether I would or not rock some Yeezys. But I will admit if I think a shoe is fire. The only Adidas Yeezys that I have liked have been the Wave Runners. Whatever colorway of the Wave Runners, I actually like those all. I think those are dope shoes. But you know, that's another conversation for another day about whether or not I would actually spend some money and rock it. You know.
Jamie said, "What do you do? Fall asleep?" I said, "I KO, bro. KO."
But those
Steve Freeman said he going for the 4s this year. Everything else is a pass.
Everything, Steve Freeman, everything. It's a lot of shoes dropping, man. I think honestly, I think the dopest Yeezys are Nike Yeezys, are all of them. You know, be honest with you, the Nike Yeezy 2, I think is probably, in my personal opinion, the best shoe that he ever made.
Was that like the Red Octobers?
Yeah, Red Octobers and all that.
Yeah, those were actually very, very dope shoes.
BRAZYKICCZ say the Phantom 1s dropping in March. Thoughts of those? The white with the red.
I saw those,
yes.
And I think people are gonna,
I just saw somebody said the Turbo Greens are going crazy on StockX. These Phantoms up there too.
I'm telling you, bro, when them Turbo Greens drop, people gonna go crazy for them Turbo Greens, man.
They are.
The quality look good on them too.
Yeah, the hype is out there. Everybody talking about them shits right now. Everybody. Unless they pull that. I wonder if they're gonna do grade school with those.
They gonna pull that.
Now those Phantom 1s, man, those are dope. And the reason why they're dope to me is the stitching on the shoe.
I'm trying to see if I'm looking at the right one.
Yeah, March 16th.
Is that the white and red joints?
Yeah. Those are fire. Those flame. If you're gonna get you some all white something, I mean that's hands down. That's easy. I love the stitching on the shoe. I like what they did with the stitching on the tongue.
Hopefully they come out in GS.
Oh yeah.
All right, Lady L, Lady L, I'm gonna do a LeBron James full court pass to Kevin Love on a fast break on that.
He don't even play for them no more.
No, I'm talking about. Pistol Pete don't play anymore either. Or Jason Williams. I'm throwing that full court to y'all, boy. Y'all can have them.
I think they dope though.
Those fire.
I mean, I see it, but I ain't with them. I do like the stitching. That stitching is dope. But
those are fire. Red laces, something like that. Those are dope.
I like that tongue, man. The tongue is dope.
Yeah, I just think the shoe's dope.
Where a Nike logo's at, yeah, it's dope. Ooh, look at that, boy. Look at the toe on that. Ooh, that thing. It got that same leather that's on the damn neutral grays.
Like I said, that's the reason why. Okay, so the Turbo Green, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. The Turbo Green looks like material-wise, it's similar to what they had on those neutral grays.
Yes,
right. And I haven't, I had a pair of those neutral grays for a little bit before I got rid of them. whatever. I like the quality of the shoe. But this is what I saw on the shoe, even when I look at the display one that was just sitting in the store, that leather or suede or whatever it is they have on that shoe. Even the display one, you can see the material from the shoe on the laces, just from people picking the shoe up and sitting there. So I want to know what that's going to be
You
like.
are right. When I laced them up with the black laces, you would see the strings, little strands of it. It does leak over to the laces, but with the orange laces, you can't tell so much though. But you
Yeah,
are
they're
right
right
though.
there. Actually, I can see them right over your shoulder. You're right. Like it's, they look pretty dope. That I feel like the turbo. Reason I brought that up is that turbo green. They look like the same. Looks like the same deal going on with that shoe.
Looks like people gonna be paying for them turbo greens on the flip too.
That's how you know that you know it's going to hit if it's already on StockX for the high. You already know it's going to be that shit.
There's no sales on it though. It's just high ask for them, and they are going to be in grade school too. It looks like.
Watch out now. Hey man, I got some green comments, man. Some we got some comments. We said OG the Hitman said he said white men can't jump past on the Phantom Ones. And and then E Money Shoes says, how does everybody feel about JB putting emphasis on the mid ones? The black and gold mid is dope. I don't know, sir. I can't say. I don't know how I feel about. I don't know how I feel about JB putting emphasis on the mid ones, man. I wish they would relieve some of that emphasis. I mean, I feel like they make more money if they relaxed on the, as far as the numbers that they release some of the more hype ones in, and stop dropping a lot of these mids, man. Because I think they kind of diluting the product a little bit with some of these mids that they dropped in, Because if you look now, right, some of the mids that they've dropped or whatever, like they are basically imitating a lot of the highs, like a lot of the OGs that they're dropping, right? And that's kind of diluting like the OGs that's dropping. And then you have some of these ones that were like really, you could cop a pair, they're selling out, and then like months and months later, all of a sudden now the shoe's hot. Like now it costs like a lot to get it. Like my son actually pointed out to me because he has a pair of those camo ones that dropped, and they're not mids, they are regular ones. If you try to get a pair of those on StockX now, they're like double, like they're like $300 for a pair of them now.
Oh, OG the Hemp Man just went in on them, boy.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Wow. You had to do it like that.
Go ahead and put it out there. Go ahead and put it out there.
That Hemp Man said mids is for people who couldn't get the OG.
Is that true?
Wow.
Is that true? What?
I feel like they're like Team Jordans.
I ain't with them, man. I can't do it.
They can't be that bad.
I think what Bun Babylon said on the chat, oversaturation. That's what I was just trying to say. It's just oversaturation, man. I think they just have so many of them out there. It's not like, why are you doing this? If they dropped a couple mids and if they dropped some mids and they were real fire and dropped them in a colorway that they didn't drop the OGs in, that shoe would have a chance to be fire, because it's not even like the cut or the silhouette of the shoe. Like there's really something wrong with it. But it's just like, okay, you're just dropping the same shoe you just dropped in the mid at a lower price. So it's making it look like it's the knockoff OG. You making it look bad.
All right, so now it look like there's some smoke. PM Kicks, he ain't feeling that response. I think PM Kicks got a few pair of mids, man.
PM Kicks is he got an ass of shoes though. He fuck with all kind of silhouettes and brands though. So it usually just come down to like whatever you like. I ain't buying no mids, but that's my choice. That's up to me. I don't want no mids. I'm just now getting into ones, period.
One's cold, man.
See, I think Jamie just made a valid. He just asked a valid question, and I think that's exactly what I was saying. He asked, "Did the black and golds, which is the ones that he was talking about, those mids, did those come in OGs?" And I don't think the way that they dropped that colorway, I don't think they ever made that in an OG, and that's why I think the shoe is dope. You know what I mean? To some people, personally, I don't know if I rock it myself, but I think you got a better chance of the shoe being dope if you don't drop it in an OG. That's the reason why I think the New Love mids are the one. I know it came in a pack, but I think the New Loves are dope to people because you don't have an OG in that colorway. You just don't have it. You have to get a pair. I think of like the only one that came close to that was like the Wu-Tang Dunks. I think that's even close to that. But I think the reason why the shoe is cool is because you don't have it in an OG colorway.
Still an easy no look pass for me, sir.
Easy. Hey, PM, I'll throw you the alley on all of them, bro. I'll pass you the ball every time.
Hey, he said he open. Get him to rock. Get him to rock.
What you think about? Okay, so they dropping the Black History Month 2s, right? You think that'll be the only 2 they drop for the year, or you think Jordan Brand should throw out some more 2s this year?
I want to find a pair of 2s that I really, really like, to be honest with you.
Me too.
I mean, the Black History Months are dope, but it's still like I want to see a pair of 2s that I look at and I'm like, damn, I can't live without those. And I haven't seen that 2 yet.
I mean, I really want to like 2s. I really want to. You know, like I really have a desire to like them. There's only a couple. The OG colorway of those I think is dope. The like with the black accents, a little bit of red, mostly white. I think that shoe is dope. Do I want it? I don't. No, probably not. Those Black History Months that are dropping, I like those. I think they should drop more 2s if they make a colorway that people can get behind. I think a lot of the 2s they drop are just like it's like they're kind of off, or there's kind of like throwaway ideas. And then also too, when you look at the shoe and how simple it is, like I feel like Jordan Brand realizes that the Jordan 1, right? It's a really simple shoe. It's just like a Dunk or something like that, or like an Air Force One High. And they realize there's not a lot of technology in this shoe. It's just a leather and rubber shoe. So we can't charge people $200 for this shoe. We can't charge $225. We can't even charge $190 for the shoe. They make it $160, $120 for GS, and just keep it moving. And that's cool. And I feel like them charging you $190 for a pair of Jordan 2s, that's a real simple shoe. I just don't feel like people can get behind it. And that's the reason why I think the 2 is the way it is. So, yeah, they should drop more if they're going to make it dope. If they're going to keep releasing the stuff they're releasing, and no.
Well, colorway, the BHM 2s is the most they ever did to a Air Jordan 2. I think the BHM is one of the better ones out of all of them because of everything they put together to it. Like you say, it's so regular, so simple. So for them to incorporate everything they put into the BHM 2, I think they did a great job. And I think they should make it a quick strike and make it limited.
Yo, somebody in the chat the chat is on point, man. Tonight, man. Yeah, somebody brought up in the chat. BRAZYKICCZ did bring up that the Don C's are fire. I forgot about that. You are correct, sir. All the Don C2s are fire, but how much are a pair of Don C's?
Yeah, I'm not moved by them. I'm looking at them. They're whatever to me. They're man.
Nah, they're dope. I actually had a pair of one of them in hand before, and it's the quality. The quality is super duper high on the shoe. I like the shoe, but it's just gonna cost you some bread. And I don't know if I'm gonna spend the same bread that it would cost me for a pair of Don C2s. I'm gonna spend that on another shoe. And there's the
Dornbecker,
and they're officially called the Just Dons, is what they are. But those, they are fire. I mean, like the quality and the material on the shoe is a super dope shoe. It's just I'm looking at prices right now for a Just Dons, man, and they want like 500, 700. You know,
I'm looking at one of them is 1,700.
Yeah, so if I'm gonna spend that kind of money on a shoe, it's not gonna be a pair of Jordan 2s. I'm just being honest with you.
Correct. I do like I'm looking at the Dornbecker 2s, and those are kind of cold.
Yeah, all right.
But
I
same
think
thing.
the BHM's better.
I ain't paying $800, man. I mean, the BHMs are cold. I don't love them.
I forgot about the Dornbecker. The Dornbecker 2s are, to me, they're kind of meh. They cost some bread too now. If you want a pair of those,
Yeah,
it'll
they're
cost you.
$800.
It'll set you back. But I'm not honestly not feeling the shoe that much. To be honest with you, I'm just.
I'll keep waiting for them to. I'm on StockX going through everyone that's available on here, and there's not one that I'm like, ooh, I really like those.
There's a couple Jordan 2s that I think are dope. And I'm just like not in tune with the Jordan 2s to be able to tell you which ones. There's a couple. I think there's a pair. What are they called? Marvin the Martians. I might be wrong. Maybe talking about something else.
BRAZYKICCZ say what y'all think of the material used on the Deacon 2s. Say better
like
material and look.
That burlap.
Those aren't the ones I'm thinking about.
Look like a burlap bag on them beacons, man.
Oh man.
You said decon
Look like
2s?
something you carry. Look like something you carry down deer corn in, man.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm out. That shoe is hideous. My God.
But now that we're talking about Jordan 2s, I'm they're not Marvin the Martians. I'm just trying to find the ones I was talking about now. The like only Jordan 2s that I think are dope. Besides
Money Kick say the Nightshades.
the shoe, to describe the shoe that I'm talking about, is mostly black, and then it has some hints of some like almost like an orangish red, almost like that hyper crimson that's on those ones, and then it has a blue that's almost like a royal blue, but those are like hints. The shoe is mostly black. That's the Jordan 2 that I'm talking about.
You ain't talking about the infrared 2s?
Are those infrareds, but they have a little blue in them?
No, I don't.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking at the infrared 2s. They actually kind of cool.
Those are fire. Yeah, those are. That's a good looking shoe. I don't know about the. They're like, it's almost a little bit too much of the light colors on those. Maybe if they would have made that shoe more black, I would like it a lot more. But that's not a bad shoe.
Kind of throws me off too. I mean, honestly, so far of all of them I've seen, I actually like the wing. It's the best, man. Just a simple white and black. Ain't bad. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I good.
Okay, I'm talking about the ones I'm talking about are Radio Raheem's.
I thought that's what you was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they nice.
I can get with those. I can get behind the Radio Raheem's. Those are dope. I actually was about to cop a pair of those at one point. Then when the price had dropped a little bit. And matter of fact, the price is pretty low on those. That's a shoe I could rock. Just because of the material. And this looks dope. It's just mostly black, white sole, little bit of blue everywhere. There actually is no red. I don't know why I was thinking there was red on them. They got like multicolored. Orange. Yeah, like the lace holes. I like that shoe. That's a dope shoe to me. I could rock that shoe. I would wear it for the price that they're asking for a pair of those. I mean, hey, if I just wanted a pair of kicks just to rock, just to kick around in. Well, of course, I'm looking at different sizes, and then my size, somebody wants 150 for it. I'm not paying that.
Jordan 2 burlaps. Ah!
Anything else that's dropping like soon that somebody's just like, besides the infrared 6s, that people are, that somebody's just looking for, that's just checking for, they think it's going to be dope. Nobody wants the Mars Yard overshoe. You don't want that? Yeah, I don't see anything else. Those 97s are dope. I like those. But I don't see any. There's nothing else that I'm like super hype about. Besides infrared that's coming out. Of course, the All Star Weekend shoes. People are going to be super hype about that. Air Max 720s coming out again. That's cool. But they're just dropping different colorways of a bunch of shoes that have already released a billion times. Is what I see.
So,
I don't see
so with
anything
them
new coming.
720s, you think Nike gonna kill that shoe like they did the Vapor Max?
I don't care if they do. I don't care if they do. Because I got a few pair of Vapor Max. They do the same thing with Prestos. I got a bunch of Prestos. That's one of them shoes I really don't care. If I like the silhouette and they're comfortable, I don't care.
I want to see the 720 in hand. I'm looking at the shoe. I'm still on the fence about it. I did cop a pair of 270s immediately when I first saw the basketball ones and then regretted it later. I still have a pair of 270 right now, the both ends, which I like a lot. I like that shoe a lot. It's probably one of the most comfortable pairs of shoes I own. These 720s, I don't know. I want to see what they look like once I got them in hand and what colorways they drop. I feel like what's happening is like it was back in the day. Because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me the highest selling Air Maxes for 90s are, you know, you got to go backwards. You got to go 90, 98, 97, 95, 90s. Those, I see more of those on people's feet nowadays than I do any of the new like Air Max concepts. I don't see as vapors and I don't see 270s and 720s on people's feet as much as I see old school Air Maxes. And I remember back in the day when Air Maxes first dropped, the big appeal of it, or maybe this where I was like the more air bubbles or the longer the air unit was on the sole that made the shoe better, you know? And that's what I feel like they're doing again with the 270 and with the 720. It's like how, and the Vapor Max even before that, it's like how crazy can we make this air unit look? How much can we make it look like you're just walking on a, you know, a big air bubble, you know? And that's the same vibe that I feel going on with these. So I kind of want to look back because Nike had a bunch of misses in that when they was just putting air bubbles on shoes. They had a bunch of misses on those. I see Air Max Pluses now all the time. People rocking.
I do think they're putting the Vapor Max sole on too many shoes.
Yeah, I agree. And making some silhouettes look very bad.
Mm-hmm. The Air, what's that? The Air Max, the tuned Air Max. Mm-mm. Doing way too much on those.
Yeah, you can't figure out what you're looking at anymore because now I get confused with my goodness, they're taking and I like the concept. I kind of it's like the same thing that we were talking about earlier when we were talking about the spikes and the Air Force J's and all that. They're mixing the shoes up. They're like, okay, let's take an Air Max 97 sole and put, you know, whatever upper on it, or let's take a Vapor Max sole and put this upper on it. So now they've basically released every Air Max that has ever come out with a Vapor Max sole on it.
Now, have y'all seen the up tempos with the 720 sole on it?
I'm out. I was hoping somebody was going to bring that up.
Trash. Oh man, they need to chill out.
Y'all was talking about pass, man. Oh my goodness, man. That's not even a basketball pass. That's a Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary back of the end zone pass for me on that, man. I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
I was actually going to say I'm gonna actually throw that off of Beez's foot and let it go out of bounds, so it's out on him.
I can't mess with those at all. Did somebody get a picture? Somebody get a picture of those up. The 720 because they're like more up tempos, but it's a 720 sole, right?
Yeah, it's terrible.
What are they called even?
Up tempo 720 quick strikes.
Quick
Yeah,
strike.
No. Oh no.
Quick strike.
See there? Up tempo 720 QS.
Those will quickly strike the garbage can.
Facts. It broke my computer. They so bad. It won't even move no more. Man, I like the colorway, but the soles, man, nah, man.
It just feels lazy to me. It's just air. It's like, okay, air more up tempos. That's all those are to me. Is air more up tempos with a 720. So I'm not feeling that at all.
Got anything else?
Hell no, it's time for me to find something to eat.
Word.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Word. I got family and everybody over here anyway. You need to come through.
Hey, when you gonna do a live studio audience, man?
Whenever y'all ready, man, we can get this put together.
No, you said you got all the family in there, so you could have had them boy in the background.
They watching it on the TV. They watching it on the TV downstairs.
Oh, for real?
Oh, really?
What's going on, Bees family?
What's happening? What's good?
Sneakerholicbeez.
But that's it. I want to shout out everybody in the chat, man. Thank you for rocking with us for this time being.
Yeah, the chat is lit.
And
chat is lit.
Yeah, this the best the chat has been so far.
Facts.
I guess we can sign out.
Shit, I'm gonna do the same thing. Shout out to my barber, my boy Clyde. Shy rocking the Be Wise. Gotta keep on the master kicks. Be wise out here. Shout out, gotta get it gear. Holla at your boy. FATBOYCLEANSNEAKS.
Yo, man, it's BRAZYKICCZ, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. That's what's up, man. Yo, shout out to my sneaker plug because I had interviews. I hired somebody, gave them the job. Then they showed up late first day of work, so I had to fire him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still looking.
Did he have Skechers on when he showed up?
I ain't gonna put him out there. Y'all be easy, man. Y'all be easy.
Somebody wake Lady L up.
Follow me on IG, Lady L Kicks _11S.
She got the thing. She got that thing on point,
Bruh.
too. On point.
Bruh.
This man, hell.
Boy, you a fool, boy.
I'm gonna have everybody IG links in the description of this video. So right after this video go up, y'all can click on the links. Make sure y'all follow the panel. And I'm Sneakerholicbeez, and I'm out.